So welcome to the shorter form of the podcast, the quick questions kind of section. So Steve, imagine our conversation so far didn't happen, and then you can take these questions from a clean slate. But I guess the first question I always ask my guests is, what's the favourite place you've lived?
Muscat, where I am now, is Muscat is fantastic. It's so, like I said, the people are welcoming, and it's by the sea, by the beach, and if you want to escape the heat in the summer, it's only an hour away from the heights of the mountain region.
What's your favourite international food?
I love Italian, so a good pasta or a good pizza. I'd say that, although I do like Nando's as well, but I'm going to go with Italian. Yeah.
And do you have that in abundance where you're living now? Or?
Yeah. There's a Nando's restaurant just around the corner, and obviously the world the way it is now, Nando's can come to you with a click of a button. So yeah, but I would say Italian. There's a great pizza place just around the corner, and the crust is amazing. But yeah, I'd say pizza is probably a push.
I think it's quite a common choice. So for me as well, Italian food is
boring. I would say, yeah, boring choice. Yeah.
What's your favourite international tradition?
That's a great question. See, I'm British, so we tend to know what we do. I think one tradition that we've started in Oman, only in the last few years, and this is a Christmas tradition on the beach, is that we'd get all our families together, we'd go to the beach for the day, the kids would just play there, we'd have like I won't say Christmas dinner, but we'd have a Christmas end of year party type thing, and we'd do that at the end of each year. So we've just done that now. So is that a tradition? I suppose it is now. It is now. That's the sort of thing.
It can be a new tradition that you've made yourself. It's fine, but because of your international experience, you've had to do that. Is that shared with other expats? Or?
Yeah, a lot of expats. So a lot of British expats. A lot, mainly British expats that we do, and I think it's a case of we just do this because it's Christmas, but also because people then either go back to their countries for or their hometowns for Christmas, and it's just like I said earlier, this time of year the weather is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So you can be very comfortable on the beach with your Christmas outfits on and listen to Christmas music and just having a really relaxed time. That's something we've started last couple of years. That is really enjoyable.
What's your favourite thing about living abroad?
The sun, living in the sun. I think, and it's just the being outdoors. I mean, you have to be careful not to take it for granted, but you can pretty much guarantee good weather most of the year. And what comes with that living in Muscat is that you're not far from a walk on the beach. And I don't do it often enough, and my wife says we should do it more often. But I think just walking on the beach is great for the mind and great for the soul, I think.
Yeah, I grew up about a kilometre away from the beach in Formby, and my parents never go, and it really annoys me. So when I go back, I have to go to the beach because it's such a beautiful place, and that's cold, but there's something about hearing the waves and being on sand is just really quite grounding.
Therapeutic, I would say.
And what's your best homesickness remedy?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily homesick, because you can do Zoom or FaceTime or things like that. I think there's certain films that I would watch that would remind me of the UK, especially this time of year. I'm sort of nostalgic type things there. So I wouldn't say I'm necessarily homesick, but things that I do that I enjoy back home is like just fresh air, just the feeling of fresh air and the breeze on your face is something that I miss. I can't really remedy that at a minimum, at least. But yeah, I don't really get homesick. But if I do feel homesick, you can reach out. You can do WhatsApp calls, you can do video calls, you can do things like that. So it's generally just speaking to people, I would imagine.
What's the hardest thing about living abroad?
We're thankful that we've not had to deal with it yet. But if anything happened to families, just you're not there, you're not round the corner. You have to get a flight, and that might not always be instant. I think that is the hardest. You miss out on a lot of sort of events and birthdays and things like that. So that's tough, especially if they're major milestones. So I suppose that's the one thing that is the hardest part of being an expat.
That's a very good point. What's the best phrase you've learned whilst living abroad?
But I'd say book it in Charlotte is tomorrow, God willing, which everyone says, well, let's not wait for God to do it, let's just do it. or life is always better in flip-flops.
What's your best way to make new friends?
It's not something that comes natural to me, but I think you just, as an expat, you need to throw yourself into social situations and introduce yourself to people, ask people what they're doing, where they come from, how long they've been there. And I think just by asking questions, you generally find a common theme, and that you sort of latch onto it and do it that way. Again, just throwing yourself into situations that you wouldn't ordinarily do. So when I first came out here, I didn't really play golf, but I threw myself into golf, play golf. I've not played for a long time since because I'm not very good at it. But I think you just have to throw yourself into situations that you wouldn't ordinarily do back in the UK.
No, that's a great point. I think sport is what I used as my vehicle to meet people, because playing volleyball was a great way of doing that.
You don't have to be good at it either, do you? You just have to turn up.
No. As long as you try, people respect that, I think.
Yes.
What's the best thing to do in your new home in terms of the location you live in?
Yeah, so we've recently moved to a new area, Muscat, and it's the best place because we can literally walk to the beach. We can walk to the sort of central area where all the shops and bars and restaurants are. There's a bike track so the kids can go on the scooters or bike. There's a running track, so if you like to go running as well. So it's really a self-contained unit, and it's really, I mean, especially this time of year where the weather is perfect. It's everything you need on your doorstep, and you can walk everywhere. It's just so convenient and so set up for outdoor living.
What's your best expat life hack?
There's so many things that I would say you would do as an expat. I think, and this sounds like a bit of a cop-out really, I think you just need to, as an expat, you become so exposed to different ways of working that you almost need to take every opinion as it comes and just form your own opinions from there. So it's not really a life hack as such, that, but it's one thing I've learned is that being an expat outside of the UK is that the world doesn't revolve around the UK. And therefore, if you can embrace everyone's opinion, everyone's view of life, then you can't really go wrong. So it's not really a life hack, but it's maybe a tip.
Well, I say it would be just be more open-minded, I suppose, and knowing the power of just know the power of curiosity.
Yeah. And I think that's a good word to use. I use the word tolerance. So I think you do become more tolerant, but I think being more curious helps you understand different viewpoints, whether that's different religions, different cultures, different nationalities. I think just asking questions out of genuine curiosity is a good hack for just learning about the world.
Wonderful. Well, that's all the questions I've got, and thank you for your time, and hopefully you've enjoyed the experience, and we'll see you next time for the Expat Pod.